Hello, it's good to have you join us again for your favorite program. This is Close Flow coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network. And we are delighted because this is your reach out channel, your reach out station, the only one in this country. So we are sure that you're waiting for us to unveil again who are distinguished personalities who will be on this show to share with you their perspectives and their perceptions, maybe their anticipation, or probably their, hopes that, the dream about Nigeria becoming one of the greatest nations on the face of the earth can be realized in this generation, in this our time. Or maybe, like some Nigerians say, it is now a case of another wasted generation. Well, we don't want to be too pessimistic. So we are sure that all the questions will be answered by our guests. Incidentally, today we have two distinguished Nigerians who are going to be speaking with us. You will get to meet them in the course of the program, but the tip of the iceberg is that we are saying that Gen Z, or the Gen Y in Nigeria, if today we're about, we are over 200 million. Gen Z, Gen Y, they're about 50% of this entire 200 million potential change makers all over the world, and they are here resident in Nigeria. So we are saying over 100 million people living here who have the capacity to build wealth and to build a new future for a country like Nigeria. But how are we engaged with this 100 million? That's number one question. Number two question, again, some people are of the opinion that, small, medium scale enterprises actually can become the bedrock of the dream Nigeria we are all looking at. But the small, medium, they have remained small and medium in perpetuity. So somebody is saying, no, we shouldn't let that continue, that we have to change that narrative. Now, another area, again, that our guests are going to be looking at to be the question of, all right, so globally, inflation is dropping everywhere in the world. But in Nigeria, inflation is rising almost at 24% as the current rate. So where is the future for this country? So our guests, distinguished as they are, very focused, visionary, and very dedicated, and very passionate about the dream Nigeria, are also here to answer your questions. We're going to throw open the telephone lines early enough so you can be a part of this conversation. If you are a Nigerian, whether you're a resident here or you're in diaspora, because we are streaming to the world, this is your chance to make sure the dream Nigeria becomes a reality. Stay with us.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
There you have them. We have Bola with us, but incidentally, Bola is coupled up with one of his, brilliant, as it were, supporters, brilliant co-executives of this particular dream that we are trying to realize. And there, of course, that's Tunde aka Bashorun. You're welcome to Close Flow.
Thank you,
Let me start with you, so that Bola already has taken an advantage. So, Bola, you're welcome to Close Flow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Let's hit the road running because all our guests who are watching from home are also getting ready to be part of this conversation. Now, so let's get it right. So we are discussing what? We're discussing business growth.
Yes.
Some people are saying there's no growth in Nigeria, that we seem to be in retardation. So how do you guys, who wants to, you want to take it, the bull by the horn? So do we have growth in Nigeria? Can you see any growth anywhere, Tunde?
Yes, definitely we have growth, especially in like our sector, the financial technology sector. We've seen exponential growth across like the last 3-4 years.
Fintech wants to take over Africa.
There's growth. There's a lot of growth. Companies like Flutter will show you that there's growth. Companies like there's so many. There's so many now.
OPay,
OPay,
MoneyPoint.
MoneyPoint, PalmPay. There's so many, and they've recorded tremendous growth, especially and this is while serving the mass market, not even the upper tier of the market. So we've seen a lot of growth. There's a lot of growth.
Okay, so Bola, you've had some kind of, as it were, field experience dealing with some of these issues.
Yep.
Now, so this growth element we are talking about, how can we lock it down and then, as it were, escalate it so that, like it says, it's street level now, but how can we actually, multiply this?
So the first thing is for us to be serious about it. Like, is this something we really want? And why do we want it?
Can you say that again? We need to be serious.
Serious about it, yes. You mentioned something earlier that Gen Z, Gen Y is half of the country.
Yes.
100 million people. If you like, don't be serious about it.
That's a challenge.
So we have young people. What are they going to do?
Exactly.
We have young people. A lot of them have smartphones or some type of phone. If you do something about it and help them channel all of that into positive things, the country gets positive growth. If you don't do anything about it, something will still happen. It just won't
Become
affect us
positive.
Positive, be negative. So I don't want to use all, like your brother said, I don't want to use what I'm about to say, but we know all the negatives that happen. We know all the financial crimes that happen online.
Yes.
So if the first thing is, if we are serious about it, if we invest in human capital,
Yes.
and say, okay, we have 100 million people, they need to be skilled, we need to have them productive. When you said, is there really growth happening? What's missing that's not allowing us to attain the growth? The growth is happening, but we're not where we're supposed to be. What's missing is productivity. And but the tricky thing about productivity is people are doing stuff, but the negative things, you can't record it.
Yes.
Right? So people are actually engaged, but it's just not engaged in the right thing. So you can't, you cannot record Yahoo, for example. So if we are serious about it and we channel all the right things, invest in human capital, then we continue to unlock the growth there. Because right now, when I'm talking of growth, I'm speaking more in opportunities
Available.
available terms. Not that, oh my God, this growth is exponential and it's insane, and we are Singapore and we are all these big countries, all these countries that are deliberate about
What they're doing.
What they're doing. So you can see. So if we are serious about unlocking the growth to where we need it to be, if you think about Africa, Nigeria, and look at the countries around us. I have this theory that once we get things right in Nigeria, we'll have a huge immigration problem.
Okay, I love that. I'm going to leave that on the table.
Yes.
So that I'm going to give our viewers the numbers very shortly so that you can lock into this conversation quickly. He said something about the growth being there.
Yes, sir.
Now, but I hope, Tunde, this growth is not about Python swallowing up the
Naira.
Naira.
No.
It's not about that.
No. Like you said, we have human capital, a lot of it. And this is why you see the high immigration numbers from Nigeria, because there's a lot of talent here. And other countries are recognizing that talent, and they are tapping into that talent by inviting them. People are moving to Canada, people are moving to the UK.
Yes.
It's because they recognize the talent and the resources we have here. So what Bola is basically saying is, we have a lot of human capital. There's a lot of things we don't have, or maybe under development infrastructure. But if we develop, if we concentrate on our human capital that we have a lot of, we're going to have basically half of our population are going to be the workforce for the next 30, 40 years. These are people between 17 and 40 something.
Yes.
So this is the workforce that is going to
Serve the country.
For the next 30, 40 years. So these are the people you want to, create opportunities for. Help them with like skill acquisition, help them with opportunities. Like, we talk about ease of doing business. It's not easy to do business in Nigeria. It's not.
So that acclamation or that pronunciation,
it's not.
ease of doing business is just on the paper.
No, we're in a community where we're all business people, over 600 strong, thanks to Bola, and everybody's always exchanging sad stories about it.
Okay, well, let's quickly share a bit. I don't want to, for our viewers, we are not sharing sad story. Please, what Bola is going to tell us, over 600 of you.
Yeah.
So let's give us an intro into that, and how can our viewers be a part of that population?
All right.
Like, I want to be a member, for instance, of that 600.
All right, so Premia Business Network, first of all, started off as, I won't say a joke, but normal way, let's go to Bola's house to go and eat. Okay, 10 of us wants to go, put us in a WhatsApp group. That has turned into a community, an actual business of over 600 executives, professionals, creatives, people doing things across 14 countries. So not just
Across 14 countries.
14 countries, yes. Wow. Not just Nigeria. So think of the US, the UK, Canada, UAE, Netherlands, just the countries, Ghana, Kenya, people scattered around. So, this growth thing that we talk about and unlocking growth, one of the things that I've looked at in comparison to maybe communities within India and China is they do things together.
Yes, they collaborate.
They collaborate. Our own culture. We don't, well, I don't want to be negative, I'll say we are trying. We are trying.
No, but Bola, both of you, growing up, we used to have communal social engagement when we were growing up.
Yes.
But I don't know what happened. Is it modernism that now we are becoming very competitive at almost every stage in life?
I think it's conditions of the environment
Of the business environment.
Conditions of business environment, and then it's almost like, this is more, let me cover it.
Let me cover it. I can't share it to anybody.
Nobody will come and touch it.
Yes.
But the problem is that you're just only going to have access to eat that yam.
Yes.
As opposed to opening it up and you can eat all sort of things. But the key thing that we try to do is let's be comfortable with ourselves. You tend to do business and connect with people that you're more comfortable with, that you build relationships with.
Yes.
In this community, we have different sectors, different areas we discuss. People talk about fitness, people talk about parenting.
Yes.
It's not that, but what does that have to do with business? But the truth is, I'm a business owner. I have 3 children. My other people have children as well. They see that the same struggles they have as a busy executive, a busy entrepreneur, same thing they have. They connect better with Bola. And, Tunde, he works out. He likes fitness. He plays soccer. He plays football. Another executive, Tunde, so you play ball.
So you have time.
So we start to connect that way. And for this continent, for this country, Nigeria, for us to be able to solve the problems and a lot of growth, we can't do it alone. We have to do it together. When sometimes people ask me, I say, Bola, so what do you really do? I say, one of the main things I do is run PB in the community.
Yes.
Because what we do from there is extremely important.
And it escalates.
It escalates.
Okay, all right. We'll come back to that. Tunde, we had a guest here, an Israeli, a Jew, who actually was of the opinion that if you're going to invest, just like you're saying, if you need to build the business or we need to aggravate growth in the economy, where would you invest in? Would you invest in human resources, or would you invest in gigantic projects like refineries? And where would you actually? Yes, okay, Tunde.
So I'm apolitical, so I don't like talking about. But I will say this: we have seen these white elephant projects for years, and they haven't yielded. They've yielded barely any fruit. So for me, it's very simple. You have to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. I feel like we're always looking for shortcuts, and there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut in development. There's no shortcut in growth. The work has to be done, and there'll be a time of sowing, then time to reap.
You have to plant, and you have
Exactly.
to yes.
So I feel like part of the problem here is our young people. They don't see the point of sowing. Not their fault, because
Yes, that's what they saw.
that's what they see, and that's the environment that like there's this get rich quick mentality we have. It's been cultivated over time, where people just celebrate overnight. Well, no source of no viable
No
source
track.
no track. Oh, the person is, and I feel like the more examples of young people, the more examples of successful business entrepreneurs who have started, who have had stories of they started with 10,000 naira. And they've built companies up, had 40 staff, 50 staff. They've gone on to start getting revenues of millions of dollars legitimately. I feel like we don't celebrate those stories enough. We don't.
Okay, we don't celebrate those stories. We're going to ask our guests to also be ready to have you join us. So we will give you the telephone number dedicated to you. But before we do that, let me take a clip of what Bola spoke about, the 600 that can actually change this economy. Let us have it. Can my producer give me just that tip? That's a spot promo. So that is the tip. Now you want to be sure that you are part of that advantage they have created. He just spoke about it. He loves to play soccer. He loves to talk about parenting. But how do you manage to share all that? Okay, so the numbers. Quickly reach us on this number if you have critical questions to ask them. Or if you need help, maybe your business is going down. Bola is here to help you out. Okay, 070 3340 8755. 070 3340 8755. Let's have you on WhatsApp and SMS. Your critical questions. Don't give us a long story. Just tell us what you want either Bola or Tunde to do for you, and then we'll move it from there. Okay, let me quickly come back to you from what you have just said. Okay, so he has given us where we need to go.
Yeah.
So we need to plant. We need to furrow. We need to, then we need, but Bola, the funny thing, you're finding it funny. Many Nigerians look at my indentured labor. I don't want to mention the part of the country where that has remained the practice up till now.
Yes.
You see street hawkers.
Yes.
So how are we going to change all that, Bola? How are we going to be able to change that mentality?
And I like that the last word you said was mentality, because I always argued that one of the biggest problems that we have is mindset.
Yeah.
And mindset is not something that happens just like this. It takes time, over time, which is why a lot of things, I know the other day the government, the new government, declared state of emergency on food security. The state of emergencies they need to declare is like 100.
Yes.
Because if you think about mindset, how people think, and like Tunde said earlier about aspirations and what's there for
What
people
drives?
what's there for people to really look up to.
Yes.
So we've gone to a situation where now a lot of people are very short term. They just want what's in it for me now. Even it got to a point where you remember if you want to transfer money, people say, okay, just give me 500 now. Rather than say I'll transfer it for you later, because nobody really trusts. Everyone just sees things right now. So that question you asked about what should we invest in infrastructure, or my answer to that was yes. Everything is on the table. We need infrastructure because infrastructure supports human capital.
Yes.
We need power. We need
roads.
everything. Everything needs to work optimally for young people.
Yeah.
But we also need to invest in people, because people create ideas, people do the work, people innovate. A lot of, even some of the success we've gotten today was because someone dared to innovate.
Yes.
A good example I'll give is in sports. Shola of Paystack.
Yes.
They invested. Do you know that Shola owns the only team that will be in the MPFL, Nigeria Football League, next season? It's someone like me.
Yes.
A young man like you, yeah.
Yes.
A young man like me. So you see that growth there, and all of us are all fans. And we were at Olympia Stadium yesterday, and it was rowdy. There was a lot of all kinds of personalities there, and we were there too. Some of us with expensive phones and watches were with other people. It's possible, and the excitement, you know, when you,
was contagious.
So you see, when I had a smirk on my face and said I'm laughing, is that even if sometimes the picture looks real blurry, it excites us. Tunde, for example, his company, he will talk about what he does. They do cards and other services for banks across the country. And we have many people that are doing amazing stuff. Young people, you know, before when I started venturing into entrepreneurship in 2016, we had a conference, and we had an app about scholarships, where people can gain scholarships. And I think, I can't remember the company we were trying to partner with, and he came and was like, who sent you? Who's behind you?
Your connection.
Who's behind you? Nobody asks that question anymore. And that's not up to 10 years now. We have young people. If you want to buy anything now, there's a good chance that the POS they'll give you is
owned by...
It's not from a traditional bank.
Yes.
And it's from a young person just like me. We are getting there. We're not there yet. We're getting there. And the most important thing is they are leading that change and that growth that we believe that is necessary. So what should people invest in? Or how do we plant? How do we sow the seed? I think it starts with each individual doing what they can do. I can't build bridges. I can't build a road. I can't do any of this left for government. But I can train people. I can hire interns. I can build ideas that bring young people on board. No lying. Since I started business in 2016, at least people have come through my organization over 100. I have a young man that became chief technology officer of a company in Abuja. The company that built the NIN app. He started from my own company.
And migrated
within a few years. Now he's the CEO of the company. He sees me as a mentee, and there are many stories like I can imagine the amount of young people that have gone through Tunde's organizations as well. So what can we do individually? We'll start from ourselves. Is what can we do to contribute? We hope and pray that we have governments and
attentive
bodies that the things that we need that we can provide. I can't build a road. I can't
build a railway station.
I can't do any of those things. But the most important thing is we listen, so that whatever it is we think we want to build for the people is what people really need.
Okay, all right. So let's come back to Tunde also, because he has emphasized the point, the need, the needs of the people, and the fact that we are committed to it. Now he has given us his own example.
Yes, sir.
Give us your own example that can inspire some of our viewers.
So I think obviously we're talking about there's a state of emergency on food security.
Yes.
I think there's one on actual security itself in the country, based on all the violence.
Yes, everywhere. The kidnapping.
There's clearly that. But I think the food one, at the end of the day, is the most basic need for every human being is to feed and sustain themselves. I think distribution is a major impediment to food distribution in Nigeria, and that is tied to infrastructure.
Yes. Essentially,
one of my somebody I mentor for, he makes yam. So if he makes, you know how like you have frozen chips?
Yes.
He makes yam like that now. So he's less than 2 years old. The company's less than 2 years old, and they're like in one of the fast food outlets, every branch in Lagos, they want them to go national. They are still trying to set that up to prepare the
satisfy Lagos market.
Yes, before they can go national. The point is, we eat it. We're going to eat. 200 million people have to eat every day, and even if it's once a day, and that's a lot of food. But the problem is distribution is a problem. Like how
do they get the food
from the farms to the consumers. That's the issue, and this is infrastructure. So these are the things Bola is talking about. Like, there are only so many ideas people can have, entrepreneurs can have, founders can have. We can't affect regulation. We basically have to adapt to regulation.
Yes, the ease of doing business.
We have to
How
adapt
true
to
is it?
what-
Okay, all right. My producer says let's hear from, again, that small tip on what you need to do. Right now, they're about 600, but they can actually, I'm sure, exponentially, they can become 1 million before the end of this program. So just watch it again.
Hey, beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Intel 4G. Intel. Live.
Okay, all right. So my guests saying that you, the guest at home, they are waiting for you to send in your queries about what you think they need to do or what you want to see them do so that you can be part of this teamwork that they're trying to build. Now, something I want to quickly, both of you should answer this really. Now, all over the world, inflation is coming down, 6.6%.
Yes.
Projected to even go further to 4 point something by next year. But in Nigeria, inflation is right now is standing at about. Should I say it before some people will? Because now the small gallon of gari that you normally buy at time is how much now? So what exactly are we doing about this?
So, I'm not a financial expert, but it's basic. You don't produce enough.
And you consume more.
You consume more. We consume a lot.
Yeah.
I think one of the things from business standpoint, business owner
Perspective,
standpoint,
yes.
perspective, we tend to look at things from a more broad picture. We look at, like, for example, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine that is in the livestock business.
Yes.
They also package meat. And he said, do you understand the amount of meat consumption in Lagos?
Alone.
Daily. The important thing is daily. And do we understand how, to the point where they even bring in livestock from Mali?
Now,
Yes.
all the way from Mali
Yes.
into Nigeria.
Mali, Niger, those places. We honestly, so we have to think about our consumption, how much we consume daily, how much we produce, and how much we import. And our reliance on foreign exchange.
Yes.
I've never seen any country that foreign exchange is so much of a big topic. I've
Like Nigeria.
Like Nigeria. I've never seen any. And so all of these things are the recipes for high levels of inflation.
Yes.
It's just that simple. And then couple it with the infrastructure deficits.
Yes.
If it costs too much to produce, to distribute, prices will spike. And demand is not going down, it's going up.
Yep.
The most important thing about the young population is that, with all due respect, you can't eat as much as a 17-year-old.
Exactly.
You can say that again. You can say that again.
So we have too many young people that eat. So consumption is only going to go up.
Oh, and not come down.
It might even go up at a more exponential rate
Than we are already anticipating.
So that's why productivity is very important. We locally, we have to be able to increase production to meet consumption, because consumption is not only growing, but it's growing faster because we have so many young people
To deal with.
to deal with.
Okay, all right. So Bola has given us I mean, supporting
Yes.
the point you have raised.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the infrastructure is not there
Yes.
for us to distribute,
Yes.
even to store. We had a guest that said the wastage of mangoes in Nigeria is about the highest in the world.
Oh, I
no,
can,
so
I can add to that. I can
now,
add to
so how disappointing is that for you? You know,
Okay.
going forward.
Okay, no, so I can add to the mango one. Nigeria produces 70% of the world's yam.
Yam,
Yeah.
70%.
Like we produce it. We have yam. So, but hear this: we only export about 5% of it. I'm not
Tunde,
done.
no, now,
I'm not done.
Tunde.
Really, I'm sorry. I'm
Tunde,
serious.
You know your surname is like Bashorunco.
I'm serious. Sir. I'm
That
serious.
is a very.
I know, sir. I know what I'm
Tunde.
talking. This I know what I'm talking about because there's a company that started, and this is part of the research we had to do.
We produce. And we
About
only export.
but we export about 5% of it. Ghana produce about.
Wait, not Tunde. Yeah, so you have wasted 65%.
No, like so we consume and waste 65%. Is what we're saying. Like basically, because even the yam that's consumed here, more than half is thrown away because it doesn't get to the buyer on time or the consumers on time. This is where the distribution deficit affects. And this happens to tomatoes. It happens to pretty much every food group that's being produced in Nigeria. So this is a major problem. I would declare an emergency on that.
You would
Because
declare an emergency on that, yes.
Because if you're not, the food you're wasting is enough to at least come towards the consumption
Yes.
levels we need. Inflation is simple. If there's more demand than supply,
It will come down.
the price will go up. Finish. Like if you cannot meet your demand, finish. It's very simple. More people are eating and there isn't enough food to go around. Petrol is more expensive, obviously.
Yes.
Transportation now, everybody has experienced it. I've never bought 50,000 petrol in Nigeria before.
But now you have.
I started buying that. So, but my point is very simple. These are areas we need to focus on because they are major problems. They are seriously major problems. Like, how many people live under less than $1 a day in Nigeria? They lot. Lot. There are over 100 million people that live under. So for me, how do you tell people that like there's hope in education, there's hope in learning skills, and like if they're just hungry? I can't listen to reason when I'm hungry. When you're starving, you can't really be reasonable because that's when they want the give me the
Yes,
one I can
whatever
sit
is
down.
yes.
Because I'm hungry right now. I'm not. You're telling me wait small and in 10 weeks you develop this. I'm not going to listen. Like I want to eat today and tomorrow morning.
Okay, now this stomach infrastructure that Tunde is spoken about.
Food security.
It's food security now.
Okay, all right. So how do we help that? Because Bola, now the panel of experts that you're putting together, to interact with business.
And GrowthCon, yes.
Yes, so this panel, how would they contribute to these issues that we are encountering here?
Okay, very good. Well, so one of the sessions is about the economic situation, right? So you can't talk about anything business. That's why business and politics always
Intertwined.
Because you need policies, you need regulations. And this whole ease of doing business. I like to just touch on that because when people talk about ease of doing business, they only just think about, how quick is it for me to get
register a company.
register a company, or how quick is it to file taxes. That's not the
Ease of doing business.
It's about would I have one price today and another price tomorrow? If for example, I order machinery from China
Oh, yes.
at X price, right? By the time it lands there, am I bankrupt? So those.
It's a very sore subject for me. I import material all the time. It's a very sore subject for me. I don't like
No, yes, you just want to add to it?
So,
Yes.
so my company makes some bank cards. We make cards for fintechs, MFBs, and so we have to buy the major components, which are the microchips.
Yes.
It's not done here. We have to buy them from Asia and Europe. So obviously we have exchange
Rates.
exposures all the time. So now that today as we speak, the dollar is 800 and something, 820 something naira to a naira.
As of this morning.
Yes, the clients I quoted last week, they benchmark it at 790 something. So I'm hoping they don't pay now. I'm hoping I can
There's
tell them.
nothing easy about
There's nothing
doing that.
easy about doing that. I
There's
can't project for 1 month. I used to give quotes for 2 weeks before. Now my quotes are valid for 48 hours because the rates.
No, but Bola, you guys are, okay now, so as business managers,
Yes.
so if I have a budget now for a year,
Yeah.
Are you saying my budget is useless?
It's like, I don't think you can even have a year budget. That's not.
And our budget as a
It's not
business now.
sustainable. That's not sustainable. That's not realistic. Again, all of the huge volatility
Yes.
in foreign exchange, for example. Just think about 2 years, and look at how.
Oh, yes.
It's just a 2 year
Yeah,
span.
it was 500 or something.
And then
last
think
year.
about if you're a business manager, like you said, and you work on projections and you try to compare prior year's numbers, it's useless. You
Yes.
can't really look at prior numbers and use that as a benchmark of what's
benchmark,
going to
yes.
happen now. Things have changed drastically.
Okay, all right. So we are still waiting for you to be a part of this conversation. It is very critical because Bola and Tunde have told you some of the elements you have to deal with. Well, when we come back, he's going to explain to us where that venue will be, where you're going to interact with all these trainers and expertise, so that you can also, rank up on your own knowledge. So stay with us, and we shall be back shortly.
Are you ready to unlock your full potential? Then get ready to have an unforgettable experience at GrowthConf 1.0. Mark your calendar for the 21st and 22nd of July 2023 as Premia Business Network presents GrowthConf 1.0, themed Sustainable Growth. Come with me. This conference is for individuals who are driven by success and growth. We have an amazing experienced team who have curated and engineered the deliveries such as the Growth Hackathon, the Masterclass, the Fireside Chat, the panel discussion, the Duo Room, and the Demo Room. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to join the growth revolution. Secure your spot now and become part of the thriving community of visionaries and change makers. Visit growthcon.africa to learn more and reserve your tickets today. GrowthCon awaits you. See you there.
We must dilate the eyes, we look for if they have cataract, look at the back of their eyes, they have glaucoma, we do a full workup for them.
You will remember
a lot of our government should actually open their eyes, especially southwest of the state.
Going to be looking deeper than we ever looked in before to ensure that we close all the loopholes.
It manifests as physical support. And every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday, every week here on NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Very quickly, we have Tola already from Bariga. I'm sure he's been online for a while, but let's quickly apologize. Many other Nigerians are joining, so let's do this very quickly. Now, Tola says, concerning the yam issue you mentioned, what do you think can be done considering the current floating exchange rates and other factors? That is Tola from Bariga. You want to say thank you to Tola?
Thank you, Tola. Thank you. Good question. So the good thing about this is the solution will also affect other domestic products that have the same issue. The first thing to fix is the distribution. We need to fix it because we're wasting too many food products. So if you can even fix the wastage, first of all, if you can arrest the wastage by improving the distribution, what you now have is you're now meeting, first of all, the demand of the local market, of the local economy for yam. That's one. And also the floating exchange rate. If I was a yam exporter, I'll be excited because I'll make
More
yam
money.
is local.
Yeah.
My costs are local. The land is local. The farm hands are local. All I need to do is export and make money. So I make forex. So it's actually a good thing for me. It's something that, like, using yam as an example is just one. There's so many things. There's shea butter. There's so many things.
And even the mango that you mentioned before.
There's so many things. There's so many things. Look at what happens with Ghana and chocolates.
Yes.
They take cocoa from Ghana and turn it into chocolate that we now pay £5, £10 for, duty free. You know, that's revenue that should be Ghana's, you know, because as the producers. So so for me, the distribution is the first place, the first point of entry. Fix that, then it's easier to help the other things move forward.
Okay, all right. You want to quickly buttress what Tunde is saying? Yes.
Yes. About the yam thing, for example, and I wanted to add is I'll try to be a lot more positive, but we like I said, 70% of yam production, yam is from Nigeria, right?
Yes.
But only 5% gets exported. You know where, like I live partly in the U.S. as well,
yes.
And it's a huge diaspora population,
yes.
And there are a sprung of African stores. They call them shops,
yes.
stores,
yes.
where people buy food stuff and stuff.
Like yams.
And yams. Guess where the yam comes from?
Where?
Ghana.
Not Nigeria.
No. Exactly. The yam comes from Ghana, and part of it too is also the process of. So it's not just that the distribution,
yes,
but also how easy is it to
export?
Import if you're in the U.S. How easy is it to get stuff from Ghana versus from Nigeria?
Yes.
Again, we're not here to be political,
yeah,
but that gap in the answer, I'll allow the viewers at home to fill in the gap themselves. If it's harder to ease of doing business.
Yes, again, you are back to that.
Ease of doing business. If it's difficult, if I want to ship something in or out, and I'm thinking of customs, this and that, the fees.
And the corruption.
And the corruption. if again, fill in the gap, but if those things get improved, not even eliminated, but improved, say, 20%, like the processes of importing and exporting have been improved by 25%. You know, I always say this thing that some of our problems does not cost 1 naira.
To fix.
To fix.
Okay, all right. Let's quickly get our viewers to be part of this, your program. That is, we're looking at, okay. So, that clip, that promotional clip.
Yes.
You give us some exciting, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So what is that supposed to be?
So it's Growth Conference. A lot of these conversations that we're having will be had there. Is okay in this market. People have been successful. How do they do it?
Yes.
I like that.
Okay, how do they do it? I want to be successful. How can I do it? I want to be successful. Can I work with you?
Yes.
Because it's not just any conference that you come and you write. It's meet people. You make cards. I'm a financial service. Can we work together? Oh, this is what you do. Let's partner. So
you activate. Activate.
So we have deal rooms at the conference.
Yes.
We have different panel discussions that will talk about topics like entering new African markets, topics like emerging technology that can fuel growth. You know, I'm sure you have a smartphone, and if you have kids, you also all these social media people on. Young people make a lot of money being online.
Yes.
And they help business.
Say that again.
Young people make a lot of money legally.
Legally.
No, yahoo.
No, online.
No, but wait. I have to learn that. I'm a young person. Please.
Okay.
One second. We have. Can my producer please quickly go back? We have Shemu from Aja. Shemu says, "What exactly do I stand to gain for someone like me that is about to venture into a business in food processing?"
Let me answer.
Shemu.
The best time for anyone to Shemu.
Yes.
To answer your question, the best time for anyone to get into food business is now, because it seems like the government is serious about food security.
Great.
And within that food security, I believe that a lot of the issues that causes waste, that causes prices to go up will be tackled. And I also believe that there will be capital, cheaper capital, but also access to capital for people like Shin or anyone that wants to get into the business for processing now. So I think the best opportunity is now, and to pay attention to stations like NTA, to listen.
Thank you.
I'm very serious. I'm very serious about it. To listen for different programs and opportunities that will be rolled out for people in the food space, particularly. Government can't solve everything, but government can solve some of the biggest things.
Yes.
And governments can help remove the roadblocks,
Obstacles, yes.
the obstacles. So if you are trying to get into food business and the government says we've declared state of emergency on food security, that's where you need to be.
Okay, all right. So we'll take a break now because again, my producer says we need to know more about that conference. Okay, so you are calling us to join at that conference. Where is the conference? When is it going to be? How can I get my ticket to be at the conference? Or do I need to know somebody? All right, so stay with us. We'll be back.
Ready to unlock your full potential? Then get ready to have an unforgettable experience at GrowthConf 1.0. Mark your calendar for the 21st and 22nd of July 2023 as Premia Business Network presents GrowthConf 1.0 themed Sustainable Growth. Come with me. This conference is for individuals who are driven by success and growth. We have an amazing experienced team who have curated and engineered the deliveries such as the Growth Hackathon, the Masterclass, the Fireside Chat, the panel discussion, the duo room, and the demo room. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to join the growth revolution. Secure your spot now and become part of the thriving community of visionaries and change makers. Visit growthcon.africa to learn more and reserve your tickets today. GrowthCon awaits you. See you there.
All right, so GrowthCon is waiting for you. Maybe I can push Bola to give you one more day. The event should be for 2 days, but I will tell Bola to do it for 3 days. If you get to be part of this conversation, I will tell Bola that. Okay, now this is Fumi from Obanikoro. What do I stand to gain coming for the business conference? That's Fumi from Obanikoro.
All right.
Quickly.
Fumi, I'm glad that you're interested in GrowthCon. It's just to give the information again. It's on Friday and Saturday, 21st and 22nd of July at Balmoral Conference Center inside Federal Palace Hotel in Victoria Island. What you stand to gain, it's a learning experience. Depending on what choice of career you are in or business that you are in, you learn about different technologies and strategies of how people have grown businesses. You get to meet people. If you're also even looking for a job, you meet decision makers. If you are someone that is technologically inclined, for example, and maybe I've got some skills and training and you want to get into tech, there are a lot of tech professionals and companies that will be there. There are also traditional companies, but every company now, I believe, will be a tech-enabled company. There's really nothing you do now. Like you mentioned earlier, NTA2 is streaming live.
Yes.
You have to have somebody in tech
to do all that for us.
To do all that. And there's a reason why you're streaming online because of the way people consume information now. And the big reason for it is because of the huge population of young people. Those same young people that need to eat, they need to go online, they need to buy data. So we see all these things, right? That's growth. You see, do you know any young person that can survive without data?
No, not now. Not now. Data is the current currency.
They can't. We can't. I can't imagine go 24 hours without having access to the internet.
Yes.
And so when you come to GrowthCon, you will have robust conversations about how to do it, how it has been done, and what are the opportunities and what to tap into.
Okay, all right, great. So I hope that answers your question. Now we have also another viewer online. It says, is the conference paid for? This is Fumi again. Fumi is just not going anywhere. She's stayed with us.
All right, Fumi, it's actually a paid conference because it's a conference it's an experience, learning experience. So we have two master classes, 3 workshops, and everybody that participates in all of them, or at least a few of them, will get a certificate of completion.
Wow.
So it's not just, hey, I'm just coming to come and talk and meet people.
Yeah.
You're actually going to learn and have something tangible to take away. So yeah, it's paid. It's not that exorbitant.
Great.
And you can find information about everything
online.
Online. www.growthcon.africa/tickets. You'll find all the information about tickets.
Can we run that again? That's a link.
www.growthcon.africa, and on there you can click on to buy tickets. You can see the programs, you can see the list of speakers. I personally will be speaking. I'm going to lead a conversation about communities. So this community that we've created, we're going to use it as a case study to see even you can
create your own community.
You can create your own community and drive business within your own community. What we are trying to build moving forward is from your own
little corner.
What are you doing? What can you do?
I like that. That's brilliant, extremely brilliant. But before today, so can you wrap that up for us? Because my producer is saying you're chopping into somebody else's time. Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I'm here as a member of the community.
Great.
I think I was one of the early
members.
Because it started as you said, like a WhatsApp group. But what's more important is because of the community, there's already a certain level of trust that we all have for each other, even if we've never spoken directly before, because the community has criteria, certain criteria, referral system where the person is vetted, their business is vetted, so it's not just anybody gets on the community. So by virtue of being in our community, there's really a level of trust and audience you will give that person when they say, oh, can I send you a private message? They're like, oh, fine. They're like, oh, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do
all right. My producer says that if we let today continue, that means the conference is going to start here. No, the conference will not start here. The conference is at Balmoral, and that's going to be towards the end of the week. So you're going to be a part of that. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
I didn't want it to go before, but now I must let you go. Thank you so very much. And okay, it's never over with us on Close Flow. Go to all our social media handles, and then you can rejoin the conversation by getting all the links, so you can talk to Bola and Tunde, and then follow up on that. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.